Okay. I think we are live. Looks like the audio meter is running. Tonight, Saturday Night Data. Again, sort of inappropriate to use the term party, but one of the things I heard this week was people saying about brands that did not take a stand on the murder of George Floyd and the Black Lives Movement, that for those brands who didn't say something, that your silence speaks volumes. And so I got to wondering, well, how would we know? I mean, there's a lot of brands out there. How would we know whether a brand did or did not take a stand, other than like manually going one by one? Well, the good news is that there are ways to tell this through a lot of data mining. So we're going to start with gathering up the majority of the hashtags that were used. So let's look at the last 30 days. This is using TalkWalker's interface. Let's start with Black Lives Matter. And from there, use that to extract out a list of the different major hashtags from the week. This is the last 30 days. Let's do export of this as a CSV file. Okay, next we need Instagram data. I'm going to pull a whole big pile of it. Hey, Mike, good to see you. And this is going to take quite a bit of time, so because it's got to process the year-to-date amount of data. While we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and look at our hashtags. And we have this sorted by total hits. I'm going to pull out anonymous. Pull out that. I want to focus really on. Pull out that because that's just stupid. There's a whole bunch of people that are using different variations here. Okay, this list here should be capturing the majority of those social posts that we assume would be able to identify. So let's put that in a text file for now over here, and we're going to want to turn this into a comma separated value array. Now we have our Instagram data. It looks like it has finished loading. And I'm going to just check our... So type convert did not do as it was supposed to do. So we need to start doing some cleanup. Change that to the date created to a date field. Good. What we have here? Likes, comments, shares. There are no shares, so we need views. Those should be numeric. And followers at posting. We're going to need to convert that as well. Okay, so this will clean up our data set to just stuff since May 1st. Change our followers at posting to numerics. Get rid of any entries where we don't have followers at posting. And now, that's good for now. So let's go through this. All right, we're going to reuse some old code. Let's get our tags in as a character array. Good. And now, what we want to do now is we want to identify, did any of these brands use any of these tags for any reason whatsoever? So let's do, we can get rid of all this other stuff right now. We want to convert this to a paste, do a collapse, and that should do it, I think. Yes, so you can see there, it's now all one pipe delimited blob. Regex. Tags. Ignore. Case is true. Oops. Okay, we need to create a content field. Equals paste 0, title, description. What did I screw up? Oh, duh. Be a comma. Good. Okay. And now we have all of our major information here. Let's do an arrange in descending order by our account here. And then do a transmute of our account, username, followers at posting, likes, comments, type, and account. Okay, so we have like Lush Cosmetics here. Let's pull up the actual table here. Lush Cosmetics used 8 of those tags. There's a bunch of stuff in here that looks pretty good. Let's do a quick save. Okay, and now let's do a split. All right, we're going to do a split into 2 pieces. Filter greater than 0. I'll take that exact same, filter this, equals 0. So, okay. You know what I want to do? I want to actually do a summarize first. So let's draw this down. We're going to do a group by, and we're going to do a group by the account name. So name, type. And then we're going to do a summarize on equals sum equals, this is going to be a mean because it's across data sets. Followers are posting. Likes equals. And CT equals sum. Okay. This is going to now collapse and summarize this table, or should. Whoops. Okay. From the top. Now again, what we're doing here is we are taking this big collection of hundreds of thousands of posts, and ideally we're going to boil it down to just a few characteristics. I think I actually want to get rid of username and type and just group on account so that I can do a distinct on it. So let's do that again. I've changed my assigner so it's no longer blowing things up. Good. So now we're down to essentially the unique number of accounts here. And now if we split this, as we were talking about earlier, we have 3,771 brand accounts. Oh, I want to do that arrange again here. There we go. So we should see like ABC News was using it a lot. There's tons of brands, Sky News mentioning it, Harper's Bazaar, Vivo, Elle Australia, Culture Kings, CNN, Vice. Okay. I do think we should include a couple of non-hashtag versions. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that. And the reason I don't want to do that is using a hashtag conveys intent that you're posting and supporting this thing. And it shows to a fair amount what your alignment to this is. So let's leave this as is. We do our splits. So we have our vocal data frame, and we have the silent data frame. And let's do an arrange on the silent data frame. Followers at posting. Followers. Do the same for the vocal. So now we need to do some quality checking, right? Did these accounts just not use the hashtags? Let's go check. What did they do instead? Until we all win. I'm going to add that to the collection because I would argue that that is clearly a valid support. Let's look. The next one, Victoria's Secret. Okay. So there's no hashtags whatsoever in this one. Uh, so let's do that. Let's distinguish, just didn't use hashtags, because I think that is a valid thing to look for, and split out. Man, that's tough. So Kat's saying it would be interesting to look at how many of them refer to community all the time. Yeah, that would be fun. We can add that in. Community count. Ignore case on that. Okay. How do we tackle the Victoria's Secret problem? Because they did respond to this, but it's not tagged in a way that would be easily identifiable. I guess at this point it would be one of those things where, like Marvel Entertainment. You'd have to do some digging. Or some image recognition, one of the two. Let's rerun this. Chanel and Gucci. I think if we added in, at least for this experiment, if we added in some basic terms like racism, would be useful. So let's do that. And see how that changes things. Let's take a look at Gucci. Some of the cause tags. Hi, Ashley. Would be useful to add in. So let's go ahead and put those in as well. Okay. Color of change. I believe it's in there as well. Okay. All right. Now, to your question, Kat, there obviously are a lot of brands that spend a whole lot of time mentioning community. Love your melon. I don't know what that is. So what we're now seeing is as we go through and identify, in this case, it is because of the variety of the ways that people are speaking about this, it is different. It is a process to go through and look at all of these brands and see how they're addressing this. So, Alliance, for example. So yeah, in Alliance case, they did they missed the boat completely. Um, so that begs the question. So now what do we do? What do we do with this information? There are obviously a lot of hey Joseph. There are a lot of brands here that are because this is an international list, not necessarily going to participate in an American centric movement. Um, so we would probably at some point want to try and weed those out. But it is funny, to Kat's point earlier. Look how many times Alliance has used community in their content, and yet when we checked out their profile, it was kind of nobody home for something that is clearly going to affect their business. So, to the question of, does a brand's silence speak volumes? I think it does. And the exercise we've done tonight is one that if you have access to data through the social media monitoring platform of your choice, you can start to see the process of filtering this out to see, okay, who is participating, who is not, who chose, like in the case of Alliance, not to say anything. And what does that say about them? Now, if you wanted to take this to how should I put this? If I want to take this to the next level, one of the things that I have seen a variety of people do, Katie Martell does this really, really well, is to then look at your company. Let's see, where is About Us? I don't really want to look at your videos. There's your Instagram stuff. There's your people. And it is a valid question to then go and look and see just how well balanced is the executive suite, right? You have exactly one person of color, I think possibly two, whose title is Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer, but it doesn't seem to be showing up anywhere else. Now, that's not to go after them specifically, but if, and this is a valid question, I don't know, maybe communications professionals like Joseph, who's watching, can chime in. Should you take a stand? That's a company level question. Should you take a stand if you know the moment anybody goes to your About Us page and sees a lack of diversity, does that make you look worse? than not saying anything at all. I think there are other cases where certainly, we saw some examples like with the Victoria's Secret. They have said, like, here's what we're doing to address the issue, and making significant financial contributions. And yes, to Kat's point, it would be very interesting to see this hashtag usage by these brands over time. Right? Is it just a thing now? Or is it a thing that they stay committed to and keep promoting and keep sharing? But at the end of the day, it really does come down to looking at the data and seeing what people are talking about, how they're using their social channels and platforms. Joseph says, bottom line, a board of executive leadership should mirror the consumers they serve. There you go. So thanks for watching, folks. I hope you found this informative. The ability to essentially dig in to a lot of data all at once about what brands are doing and what they're saying. And I hope you use it. I hope you use these ideas in your own work for social good. Whatever it is that you are looking to do to make the world a better place, know that the data is out there. Know that it is something that you can work with. And know that it is something that you can use to enact change. So if you were, for example, an Alliance customer, you could communicate your dissatisfaction with their failure to lend a voice to this week's events. If you have follow-up questions, please leave them in the comments in the chat and stuff like that, and or drop us an email, whatever. But thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.